It starts with noise, not context. An entire crowd snapping their heads at once, phones rising like reflexes. Someone near the front yells, "Did you see that?" And for a second the air feels thinner, like everybody forgot how to breathe. You're standing in the middle of it, and you do one thing that should be impossible. You take a single step forward and somehow appear 2 meters ahead, as if the space between frames just got skipped. People swear it happened cleanly, in real time. No smoke, no stumbling, no trick. Just you here, then you there, and a wave of stunned laughter that dies into silence. But when the first clip starts circulating, the moment doesn't behave the way the witnesses remember. The audio jumps. A few videos show you blurring. Others show you perfectly sharp. And one angle looks like you never moved at all. Hundreds of eyes agreed on what they saw, until the playback made them doubt their own brains. There's one detail everyone misses at first. A thin, metallic click right before the step, and a shadow that doesn't match the sun. If you want the real reason this blew up, you have to compare 2 uploads frame by frame. Nobody could explain it. And that's when the first video surfaced, showing something the witnesses swear wasn't there. Your name wasn't supposed to be searchable. You weren't a performer, or a magician, or anybody with a reason to be filmed. You were just another face at the Riverside Night Market. A Friday thing in early summer, when the heat finally backed off and the city came outside. You showed up after work with Sammy, your friend who drags you to anything with food and lights. And you planned to stay long enough to grab dumplings, laugh at the street band, then disappear. That's the part nobody online seems to understand. There was no stage, no spotlight, no watch this build-up, just a crowded walkway, vendor tents, and security guards in neon vests trying to keep people moving. One of them, a tall guy named Ortega, had already warned a group of teenagers to stop shoving. A staff member from the market office, Mara, clipboard, earpiece, permanent stress, was arguing with a vendor about power cables when the commotion started. And then there was the skeptic, a woman in a gray hoodie, close enough to see your shoes, muttering that everyone's desperate for views, and this is, obviously, a trick. People online assumed it was staged, because that's easier than admitting something real. Didn't make sense. But the people closest to you weren't laughing. Sammy's face had gone white. Ortega was already pushing through the crowd. Mara was staring at the ground like she'd lost something. Even the hoodie woman stopped talking, eyes locked on you, waiting, because whatever happened, it happened in the 10 minutes before the moment everyone recorded. 10 minutes before anyone screamed, everything felt almost boring. Strings of warm bulbs hung between poles, buzzing softly when the wind pushed them. A portable speaker near the street band kept popping, like a cable was half loose, and every time it happened, the singer flinched and kept going. Sammy joked that the sound guy was being held hostage somewhere. You remembered details you shouldn't. The way the light from the taco stand made the pavement look wet. The way a security camera above the ATM blinked red, steady, like it was counting. The entrance gates at both ends of the market were open, but one side had a temporary fence, forcing people into a tighter lane. Everyone moved shoulder to shoulder, predictable, compressing, and releasing like traffic. Then came the announcement. Not loud, not urgent, just a short message over the market P that cut in mid-sentence. Please remain. And then silence as if someone unplugged the mic. A second later, the bulbs overhead flickered once, not enough to matter, except 3 different people. Later swore the whole lane dimmed. Somewhere behind you, a stroller wheel squeaked in the same rhythm, over and over. And in the reflection of a vendor's stainless steel counter, there's a figure standing still while everyone else drifts past, watching you like they're waiting for a cue. You don't notice that part until later. In the moment, you just feel your skin tighten as if the air changed. Then it happened, fast enough that your brain couldn't file it correctly. At 8:17 p.m. you're walking behind Sammy with a tray of dumplings, edging through the lane beside the temporary fence. The band hits a chorus. The speaker pops again. A click, like a button being tapped, comes from nowhere, close enough that you feel it in your teeth. You stop, half turning, because you think someone bumped you. Ortega is 15 feet away, looking past you toward the ATM camera. Mara is to your left, arguing into her headset. The woman in the gray hoodie is 3 steps in front of you, facing you like she's deciding whether to laugh. Then your body moves. Not a sprint, not a stumble. One ordinary step, heel to toe, the kind you take without thinking. Except the step doesn't land where it should. In the span of a blink, you're suddenly 2 meters ahead, past the hoodie woman, past a couple holding lemonade, standing where there was no space a heartbeat ago. The people closest to you react first. The hoodie woman jerks backward so hard she clips the fence. A teenager behind her blurts, "No way," and starts laughing, the automatic kind you do when your brain can't label what it just saw. 2 guys near the taco stand throw their hands up, shouting that it's a prank, that you're using wires, that someone should do it again. But the laughter doesn't last. A man on the right, maybe 6 feet from you, keeps repeating, "He didn't walk," like he's reading from a broken script. A kid on someone's shoulder starts crying. The band stutters, the singer looking down as if she missed a cue. Phones rise higher, elbows out, screens glowing. You hear recording, live, and send it, like a chant, and this is where the story splits. The people in the center lane swear you skipped forward, cleanly, like a video that dropped frames. They'll tell you your outline stayed sharp, no blur, no smear. They'll swear your feet made no scuffing sound on the pavement, just that click before the step. But people along the vendor line insist something else happened in the same second. They say you didn't jump forward at all. You stepped sideways, behind the lemonade couple, like you were avoiding someone. One vendor later claims he watched you the whole time, and you never left his line of sight, which makes no sense because he was behind a grill. Even weirder, 2 separate phones from the far end show you standing still while the crowd reacts as if you moved. You try to speak, but your mouth doesn't match your thoughts. Sammy is staring at you like you're not entirely you. Ortega pushes through, one hand out, not sure if he's calming the crowd or bracing for a fight. Someone yells that you hacked the cameras. Someone else yells your face is going to be everywhere by morning. If you think you know what happened, wait until you hear what the nearest witness said under oath. Because before anyone could agree on what they saw, security grabbed your arm, and the first accusation hit the air like a match. Somebody shouted your name, even though you never said it. Another voice demanded you do it again, proving it. When Ortega pulled you toward the door, you realized nobody was still asking if you were okay. Ortega clamps your forearm and guides you toward the market office door behind the vendor tents. The crowd follows like a tide. People point at your shoes, at your hands, at the empty space you supposedly crossed. Phones stay up, Red recording dots blinking, strangers narrating over your breathing. Every few seconds, someone shouts, "Again." You keep saying, "I just walked," but it comes out flat, like you're repeating something you don't believe. Sammy tries to wedge between you and the cameras, insisting everyone back up. Yet he can't hide how shaken he is. Mara appears at your shoulder, talking too fast into her headset, asking for the security feed, asking if the ATM camera caught it, asking why the lights flickered. Someone shouts the first easy explanation. "It's a jump cut." Another voice upgrades it. He's got one of those teleport prank rigs. Within seconds, the story turns into something shareable. Street magician fakes a glitch. Crowd loses it. It spreads because it's clean, because it lets people feel smart instead of confused. Then a guy in a sports jersey pushes forward, waving his phone like a warrant. "I've got proof," he yells. "You can see the switch. You can see the edit." The crowd surges, half hungry to debunk you, half desperate to believe. Your stomach turns. You're not thinking about fame. You're thinking about how you don't remember the step the way they do, and how that metallic click is still ringing in your head. And when the clips hit the internet, the mystery didn't get clearer. It multiplied. By midnight, the market incident had a name: Night Market Teleport. The most viewed clip came from a balcony above the dumpling stall, shot in crisp 4K. In it, you're centered in frame, Sammy half blocking you, the fence on the right like a ruler. The moment hits and there's a stutter. Not a blur, not a cut you can spot. Just a tiny hitch where the audio dips and the crowd gasps. One frame you're mid-step, the next you've landed ahead. Comments scream edit, but nobody can point to a splice. The clip proves the jump happened, yet it can't prove how. People zoom in on your shoulders, looking for a harness line, but the frame cuts off at your knees, conveniently. When the video is stabilized, the background warps for a split second, like the phone's software tried to correct for motion that never happened. The uploader swears it's raw, yet the file shows it was rendered twice before posting. Then angle 2 drops filmed from near the taco stand, closer to the ground. This one is worse. The click is louder, like it's right next to the mic, but your body doesn't jump. You lift your foot, sure, and the crowd still erupts, yet you appear to stay almost in the same place. Except a woman's lemonade cup on the left is suddenly in a different hand, and a kid's balloon that was red is blue 2 seconds later, as if the timeline got nudged. On angle 2, commenters start counting frames. At 60 FPS, your step begins after the crowd's gasp, not before it. A man in the back lifts his phone, and in the next frame it's already above his head, skipping the in-between. Even stranger, Sammy's dumpling tray tilts, but no dumplings fall. It's like gravity hesitated, then remembered its job. That shouldn't matter. Except every clip shows the hesitation differently, too. Andule 3 isn't cinematic at all. A grainy security feed from the ATM camera, time-stamped 2017-43. It shows the lane, the fence, your head turning. And then the timestamp jumps forward by exactly 1 second. No blur, no missing frames icon. Just 2017-43 to 2017-44. With you now standing ahead and Ortega already moving. In person, everyone described it the same way. But on camera, reality behaves differently. Even the shadows disagree. In the balcony clip, yours stretches right. But in the CCTV, it leans left, like the sun swapped sides for a breath. Then someone posted the slowed-down version, and one frame changed the entire story. Within 48 hours, the internet had built a courtroom out of comment threads. The first theory was editing. A clean jump cut hidden by motion blur. It fit because the balcony clip stutters right at the step, but the raw file from the Uplabor, when pulled from his cloud backup, shows no cut points and the audio waveform dips before the phone even shakes. Metadata nerds checked frame rates, compression signatures, and upload histories. The balcony clip's checksum matches the original file, and the motion vectors show no splice, only a single corrupted frame. If someone edited it, they'd need to edit every repost too, including the live stream recording from a food blogger across lane. Theory 2 was a staged prank. Maybe Sammy was in on it, maybe the crowd was planted. Except Ortega filed an incident report the same night, and Mara's call logs show she rang the market manager at 8:18, swearing she'd just seen a person skip space. People don't fake that kind of panic while still on the clock. Theory 3, optical illusion. In a dense crowd, your brain can lose track of a person and snap them to a new position. That happens, but it doesn't explain why people on opposite sides of the lane describe the same metallic click, or why the ATM timestamp jumps by exactly 1 second. Theory 4. Camera artifact. Phones stabilize video by inventing in-between frames. Low light can smear motion. Rolling shutters can bend reality. Strong argument. Until angle 2. Shot in bright vendor light, shows the same hesitation, and the CCTV, which has no stabilization, still drops a second like it was erased. Theory 5. A medical episode. Maybe you blacked out and lunged forward, and witnesses misread it. That would explain your confusion. The blank look Sammy swears he saw. But it doesn't explain why you remember hearing the PA cut off mid-sentence, or why multiple witnesses say your feet made no scuff. Just that click. Finally, crowd psychology. Once one person screams teleport, everyone else's memory bends to match. Except the earliest messages posted from the scene, time-stamped before the first viral clip, already mention the same two details, the click and the shadow. That shadow is the overlooked clue. In 3 angles, it briefly detaches from your shoes, sliding a fraction of a second ahead, like it's chasing you instead of following you. So you can knock down the cheap explanations one by one. You can even explain parts of it. But the center of the moment stays stubbornly wrong. Like the footage is describing something that happened and something that didn't at the same time. So if it isn't the easy answer, what are we left with? Once the plausible theories started collapsing, the internet did what it always does. It went hunting in the dark. One camp called it a glitch, reality stuttering the way your phone does when it's overloaded. They pulled up old clips, a basketball player seeming to snap across the court, a train camera that skipped a second, a streetlight that flickered the moment someone vanished behind a pole. The pattern wasn't the events themselves, it was the arguments afterward. Same split witnesses, same audio dip, same feeling that the footage wasn't lying, but also wasn't telling the same story twice. Another camp argued coordination. Not a prank, but a test. Unknown tech hidden in sight. A directional speaker causing a click. A jammer scrambling timestamps. Some kind of projection that tricks the eye from one angle and fails from another. They circled the market map like detectives, marking camera positions, power lines, the temporary fence that funneled everyone into the same narrow corridor. Then the strangest theory surfaced, that nothing moved at all, that the crowd's perception fractured for a single beat, like a mass micro-blackout of attention. A cognitive psychologist weighed in cautiously. He said misperception is real, and memory can synchronize under stress. But he couldn't account for the 1-second discontinuity on the ATM feed, or the shadow sliding ahead of you in multiple angles. Perception can be wrong, he wrote, but clocks are harder to hypnotize. Meanwhile, your life shrank. Strangers recognized you at coffee. Someone taped a screenshot to your apartment lobby with the words, "Tell US how." Your inbox filled with threats, offers, and people begging you to recreate it on livestream. Sammy stopped answering calls. Ortega refused interviews. And the more you tried to vanish, the more the story followed, because the videos kept evolving. But the real turning point wasn't a theory. It was a new clip uploaded by someone who didn't even realize what they captured. 3 days later, a user with 12 followers uploaded a file titled marketwalkback.bv. No edits, no music, no captions, just an uncompressed clip pulled from a dashcam parked at the far curb. The lens is wide and ugly, but it catches something every phone missed. The full 30 seconds before the step, and the cleanest audio yet. You hear the PA cut in, "Please remain," then die. You hear the metallic click, sharp as a lighter, and you see your shadow detach. Not drift, detach. It stretches forward a half beat before your body moves, like a hand reaching into space first. Then the teleport happens, and the dashcam proves the crowd wasn't imagining it. Your position changes instantly, no blur, no occlusion, no one blocking the view. But it also proves something worse. Your head doesn't turn with the rest of you. For one frame, your face is still looking back, like you're split between two moments. That's why the footage never agrees. It isn't showing what you did. It's showing what happened to you. After that, the internet stopped asking if it was real, and started asking something worse in that second. What we know is small, but it's solid. At 8:17 p.m., in a crowded lane, multiple independent cameras recorded a 1-second discontinuity. The balcony video stutters. The taco stand angle desyncs. And the ATM feed jumps 43 to 44 with no missing file warning. The dashcam clip shows your shadow reaching forward before your body follows. And it shows the crowd reacting before anyone online could tell them what to believe. What we don't know is the part that matters. Whether that click was a device or a coincidence. Whether the PA cutout was a power glitch or a trigger. Whether you moved or the world around you skipped. Or your mind fractured for a single frame and dragged everyone else's attention with it. And the fallout is real. Sammy won't stand next to you in public anymore. Ortega transferred off weekend shifts. Mara quit the market office. Your face became a meme, then a warning, then a dare. You started taking side streets, covering your phone camera, listening for that metallic sound in elevators and quiet hallways, terrified you'll feel the air tighten again. If this was a trick, it was the most expensive trick imaginable. If it wasn't, then the only honest answer is that we caught something we don't have language for. So I want you to decide which explanation fits the evidence best. And which detail did you notice first? The shadow, the timestamp, the audio dip, or the way your head lags behind your step? One last thing. In the dashcam file, right after the jump, a second click appears on the audio channel, but no one in the crowd reacts, like only the camera heard it.